Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Naru's Corner, and this week we are gonna look at progress bars. And as I've promised like 3 weeks ago, and with my memory of a goldfish, I completely forgot about that. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. I have like three examples for you prepared, but there is only one principle that I need to show you, and then you can apply it anywhere you need to and you want. You can, of course, like design whatever kind of a progress bar you want. You're just gonna use this one little trick and it's gonna work. So the first one you might have seen with the terrain generator, and there is just multiple Ylandium cells, and they are gonna light up as we are gonna be generating blocks. As you can see, there's like 100 blocks supposed to build, and you can see right here where it is, the progress of it. Now it's around 95 blocks, 100 blocks, done. Great. So this is useful for when you're building something large or you need to keep an eye on disappearing blocks maybe. The second one, I've created this lovely little thingy, and I have no idea how to call this black kind of a watch hand thingy, so I'll just call it a thingy, and it indicates how full the chest is. So if I put 5 items here, you can see it immediately moves, and if I remove 3 of them, it will move down. See? So yeah, you can use this in your storage rooms if you have a lot of chests, so you can keep an eye on how low you are on space or anything. And since this really looks like those old-timey elevator thingies, I thought it would be nice to use it as an elevator thingy as well. So if we now move the elevator to the first floor, it is not gonna work. Of course it's not gonna work, because I have used vector, but provide okay, so we're gonna fix this bug together. Alright, here we are back at the editor, and I think we can start with the chest because it has the simplest script, so you can easily see that. I'll just delete this one. This is actually all that we're gonna need. So with the chest, what we want to do is we want to indicate how many stuff do we have in there, right? And you can see that the container has 18 spots to be filled. So you know that 18 spots is maximum, right? So if I just create this without the rotate tile, you know the maximum, which is 18, and you need to get a fraction, right? The fraction of the items there. So you need a number between 0 and 1, which is gonna indicate 0 is empty and 1 is full, obviously. And how you're gonna get the number of items there is by, I think, get container items. Oh yeah, it's very intuitive. And you're gonna use get length tile, which is somewhere there, but I am really blind. There, get length, and you are gonna use this keyword, which refers to the object that we're creating the script in, right? So if you use get length with get container items, you will always get the number of items that are in the container at that time. And by doing this, if we have 9 items there, the 9 divided by 18 is 0.5. It means it's half full, right? And you want to use this number and split this portion, which is 180 degrees, right? So you want to split it with this number so you can go from 0 to 1. And since we know it's 180 degrees, we can just do this times 180. This means that if we have those 9 items, as I've told you, this is gonna be 0.5, right? Times 180 will be 90 degrees, so the black thingy will be in the middle. And one last thing that we actually have to do, which is not really ideal, but I didn't manage to make it better. If you look how I'm rotating this, right here it says 270 degrees, and here it is 180 degrees. That means that we need to rotate it counterclockwise, right? And starting from 0, that means that 0 equals 360 degrees as well. So we're sadly gonna need one more number tile, and we're gonna say 360, which is our starting point, basically 0, minus, and this number that we have created. It just means that we are going counterclockwise, right? So right now we can plug it in the rotate 2, and we are gonna use speed, since we don't know how big the distance will be when rotating, right? It could be all 180 degrees if you fill it up right at the beginning, or you can add just 1 or 2 items, and you don't want to have inconsistent speeds of those. So we're going to use speed. As a rotation, we are going to need a vector, and as you could have seen, batch. I'm so sorry about that. I wanted to close the script, but I actually closed the game, so, well, yeah, I'm awesome, I know. So anyway, as I was saying, so you can see here, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So you can see here, you have 0, 0, and you are moving in the z-axis, right? Rotating with the z-axis. So we are gonna leave x and y on 0, and as I said, we're gonna plug in the number that we will calculate based on the items. As the speed, we're gonna set something like 30. You can of course do whatever you like here. I like using the smoothing here. 1 is maximum, and it's just gonna smooth the start and the end of the movement. Just looks a bit nicer. And that's it. That's really all there is to it. The main principle is the dividing stuff with the total number of stuff that you need and the current number. Once you get the fraction that you need, you can do whatever you like. So moving on to the blocks, I think this is slightly different and tiny bit more complicated script, but still nothing to be afraid of. And I am gonna start with this. I'm gonna move it out of the way because I don't want to delete it unnecessarily. We are gonna create a new function, and what we want to do here is to generate the blocks, right? So we're gonna name it spawn a block, and we're gonna need some additional arguments. Sorry, we're gonna need maximum number that we wanna have. Oh, I can't write. And the current number, right? So current number of blocks, because why not? As the third argument, I've used position here, but it's not necessary. It's just you need some starting point, and it's nice to have it here if you wanted to call it multiple times from different places. So I'm just gonna say pause. So nice. Okay, and I mean basic spawning, I'm sure you know that you're just gonna spawn here with spawn entity template. You're gonna use the template that I've prepared here, right? As a position, we're gonna plug in pause, and you can call these functions as recursive. You can call, the function can call itself, but you always need to check that it is not gonna run infinitely. That's never good. So we're gonna use a delay tile, which is gonna act like, you know, just waiting for 0.08 second might be enough, I guess. Yes, why not? It's just gonna wait a while before it calls itself again, because we don't want to spawn all 100 blocks at once, right? So we're gonna wait a tiny bit, and then we're gonna call it again. As a maximum number, we're gonna call the same thing, because that's not gonna change. But current number of blocks will be a current number of blocks plus 1, right? And as position, because we don't want to spawn all of them to get at the same position, we are gonna use a vector, this counting operation bar. I'm gonna plug in the position and plug in plus 0.375, because that is the height of one block in Ylands. And as I've said, you need to check if you want to call it again, because we only want to call it 100 times, right, in our case, or 150, whatever. So we're gonna check if the current number of blocks is less or equal to maximum number, right? If it's less, we're gonna spawn another block. If it's not, it's just not gonna call itself anymore. Once you have this, it's the spawning, right? You have spawning of the blocks, but you want to check, as I've said with the counter, what phase of the spawning we're in. And we are gonna do it with the update counter function. So I'm gonna create a new one. It kind of triggers me that I see that it's already there. But, counter no progress. Oh, it's nice. Progress update. Oh, it's so glorious. So we again, we're gonna need the maximum number, and I'm not typing. I'm just gonna say max. I'm sure you can all understand. And current, which is gonna be the current number of blocks that we have spawned, right? And I didn't add it, right? Okay, this is all we need, as I've told you before, because this is the same stuff we've been doing. You're just gonna take the current number, divide it with the maximum number. So here it doesn't matter, right, what number it is, because you're always gonna go up to the maximum. Now you wanna, because back at the first example, we had the fixed number of those angles. I can't talk today. Those angles, but here we don't know, right? You might decide that you want a different display, and you don't want to count it every time on how many blocks you use in your display. So you're just gonna use get length again, and this time it's gonna be for entities. See, with this, what you're gonna get is the number of blocks that make up your display, right? So here we have it. This is the same stuff as I've told you before. We're gonna get the fraction. I'm just gonna slightly jump back and tell you that this display is made from those Ylandium cells, and they are sorted. As I've been adding them, I've been adding one after another to the label, so I know that it starts with the lower one and then goes up to the red one, right? It's important to have them sorted. You could sort them while in game, but it's unnecessary additional counting, and we don't want that. It's simple like this. So yeah, this is what the entity label is doing here. So right here we already have the fraction, which, wait, does it make sense? Does it make sense? Yes, sorry, this is the fraction, and this is the, not fraction, but this is the number, the number of blocks that should be filled in or light up, right? But one problem is that you don't really have the number as a whole, because there are gonna be some decimal numbers, and if you want to have whole numbers, so you can decide that up to like 48 it's still gonna be 4 lighting up, because you wanna light up the segment only when whole 10 blocks, let's say, is spawned, right? So you can use floor tile, which is one of the two, floor and ceiling. These are the two tiles that will round the number either up or down based on what you choose. Floor is obviously down, ceiling is up. So even if the number was 4.999999999, it will return 4, right? So we're just gonna plug it in, and now we know that it's gonna only return the whole numbers. And what we want to do with this is we want to go through all the blocks that we have in there, which are those are the islandium cells, and we're gonna use if logic, and I'm just gonna save this long number into a variable so we can work with that better. And what we are gonna ask that if this index of this item, I can use index since I have them sorted, right? Because the first one is gonna be 0, so 0 is obviously gonna light up right at the beginning, but let's say 3 or 4 is gonna light up way later. So I'm just gonna ask if the index of this islandium cell is less or equal than the number that we have here. I don't know why it didn't rename correctly, so let's just call it just num, why not? So if it's less or equal, we want to get that the color 2, because islandium cells, the green color in the middle is color 2. So get color 2, and we're gonna need set color 2 as well. We're gonna save this color into a variable. We're gonna get the alpha channel of this color, because we have different colors there, right? We can't just simply say that make it more green. I'm gonna say 0.1. This just slightly elevates the alpha of this color, and then we're just gonna assign it back to the item, right? And else, that means if it's lower, we are just gonna get it again, set the alpha to 0. And the reason I'm doing this is just because now it's universal. You don't really need it for counting blocks because it will never go down. But if you were to, let's say, delete the blocks, you would need the light to go dark again, right? So this is why the else is there. Every time it's gonna go through this, it's gonna check that all the other lights are off. And yeah, that's it. That's it for this progress bar. Now it's gonna work. We're gonna try out later. I'm just gonna plug in the new one, which is, oh, I messed up. Oh yeah, sorry, we didn't plug it in. I'm really not paying much attention today. So progress bar, we're gonna call it right here, and as max number we're gonna use this. Current number of blocks, we're gonna use this, right? Now it's plugged in into the block, and we can call it from, no progress upgrade. We want to call a spawn a block. We're not gonna call this one, we're gonna call only, let's say, 100 blocks. Counter will be 0 because you want to obviously start from 0. And I'm just using a position of this reference point, okay? And for my third demonstration, I've created the elevator. And here I have created it in a global storage because I am calling the functions from 3 different buttons, and I didn't want to write them 3 times. You can see that this is obviously numbers in puroglyphic. Duh. So the instruction itself is really simple. I'm using a move to move the platform to a certain position, and I am passing a floor number as well as the position, so we don't have to count anything. It's, if you can do something simple, don't make it hard on yourself. Just make it as simple as possible, right? You want to save time and work. And once you move it, you want to know what angle the black thingy. Here it is. I really need to find out what it's called. The black thingy, to what angle it should rotate. So you're just gonna need the floor number, which is gonna be 0, 1, or 2, divided by 2 since 2 is a maximum, and then multiplied by 180 because that is again the full half circle, right? It can go. And then just use 360 degrees again minus this because it is the same clock thingy. Yeah, and just time. Yeah, this time I've used time. Oh, that's a good point. You can notice that before I was using speed because you never know how far it will go, but here it actually is really good to use time because you want the platform and the thingy to move at the same time. If you use this, it will take 5 seconds for the elevator to get to the position, and it will take 5 seconds to rotate the thingy. It means that it will move slightly faster if I move from 0 to straight to second level, right? Because it will go 2 times faster. But still, I think it's pretty nice. And if you want to split it differently, if you're gonna use speed, you obviously can. And yeah, that's how it works. So let's just quickly test out that everything works as it should, and we'll be done. So here we are, and I am just gonna try out what we have created, and it's working. Great. I'm actually relieved. So second one, I think we have remade as well. So I'm just gonna check. And yes, it's working as it should. Great. You can see that it's almost full and we might need another chest. And this, well, oh, what? Oh right, I told you we're gonna fix that. See, memory of a goldfish, I told you. Just 1 second. Alright, we're back. And I'm just quickly gonna jump here. And yes, I am passing this as a rotation. I'm sure you've noticed that yourself. I need to pass in this as we have used the vector with the z value of the number. So if I test it now, it will hopefully work. Alright, we're back once again, and now if we move the platform, you can see that, oh, it is actually moving. It's just so great. Move it back down, move it, send it straight. Nice. Great. So this is it. I am sure you can make these into your house and it will be amazing. If you create something with the stuff that I'm showing you here, make sure to post it on the forum. I'll really love to see your creations. Anyway, see you in 2 weeks, guys. It was great, and I hope you don't kill me for messing up so many times. See ya.